AI agents keep continuing to be the only thing that is pumping on the marketplace, yet there are very few plays left that are still undervalued. Today we're talking about 5 AI agent picks with 3 to 15x potential from the low risk to highest risk. By the end of the video, I would share a couple of absolute gems no one is talking about at this stage. Without further ado, let's start. First project is ARK. It's at $330 million market cap at this stage. It is definitely not a low cap currently. However, I do believe that this thing has a lot of potential moving further. With ARK, you can actually build intelligent AI agents for crypto portfolio analysis across networks. This is essentially the thread on X, sharing the full overview process and how to do it in the first place. But in terms of these AI agents, people really like to invest into something that has a potential on managing the portfolio in the future, buying and selling coins, participating, taking part in the early project startups and things like that. ARK been compounding on H4 trend retests since it broke the diagonal. I think this marks up quick on closing above this local high. This is the situation on the chart as we are seeing currently, and the expectation here is that we should be seeing a new surge up from here. If I would bet on the coins that would continue to move higher even when mostly AI agent narrative will start to correct, I would probably bet on this one. I just like the narrative, I just like the things that happen around this one. A Cerebral Whale just bought $31,000 of ARK at $380 million market cap. Fortunately, the guy bought the absolute top, right? Almost the absolute top, but we'll see how this will move forward for him. Looking at the infrastructure landscape, AI16Z is definitely the de facto #1. ARK is growing nicely, but in my opinion, still heavily undervalued based on the current progress and mindshare as well as the comparables. Perhaps it will follow a similar trajectory as more builders dive into the GitHub. This is essentially speculation that ARK might repeat the path of AI16Z because a bunch of engineers essentially are using the GitHub repository to build their own intelligent AI agents at this stage, which is kind of great. You always want to focus on developers and follow the developers, because usually if developers are developing on certain technology, liquidity is coming there as well. Next on the list is Swarm AI. It's a low market cap, which is at 90 million at this stage, but what's interesting is that it's also an infrastructure play, which are getting appreciated by the marketplace heavily at this stage. Swarm AI, where AI agents swarm the cloud, no service required. Introduction, just a quick overview. Here we have an example of creating a smart serverless AI agent around a stock market researcher with prompts to a certain ticker. If you want to check out how this stock was doing over this certain amount of time frame, ask certain questions and essentially get certain type of analysis. This is obviously just one application of this coin and this project at this stage. Dev is quite active. He's been developing, he's been quite public about the things that happen with the project, and I will share one of the tweets as well. Snake just flipped both ARK and gold in mindshare. Repricing is imminent. This is a very interesting metric that not a lot of people actually look at when trying to invest and make money with AI agents, is mindshare, right? And things that are usually growing in mindshare, the price is often lagging, right? We can kind of see it with Solana as well. Solana was being shitted heavily in the bear market at $7, $15, $20, $30, but mindshare was there. A lot of people were talking about it, and this is one of the reasons of why the price appreciated heavily. Obviously, also the fact that it was able to find the product market fit out there, right? And this is the other thing right here as well. We can see it flipped in the market share ARK and gold, and both ARK and gold are way higher in the market cap than this thing at this stage. It's also one of the newer AI agents out there, and along with ARK, I do believe that something like Snake, Swarm AI, should still have some room to grow moving further. Do you understand yet? This is why you get sidelined, Snake. This is just someone swapping essentially Griffin into Snake, right? And selling Griffin and ARK into Snake at this stage. Both of them are actually of a high market cap, so we're kind of seeing natural rotation in the marketplace happening. And interestingly is that things are going higher in the market cap initially because there is just a small amount of things to buy initially, right away, right? But when the narrative is getting more and more liquidity, better and better builders are essentially joining, right? And some things that are appearing a bit later in the process that might even be better in comparison to things that appeared initially, right? Just because of the fact that people that created things initially, they were just trying to push something quick on the marketplace to essentially capitalize on the market share that is present between the narrative. but they're not trying to come up with a good product right away. A chill guy whale just bought 165k of SNAE at 107 million market cap. It's quite interesting that the guy also bought the top, right? And yeah, I'm often seeing this type of situation where whales from current projects, they are often buying the tops of the new projects, which is exactly not the way how they become whales in the first place. They did not become whales, but you kind of have to change the structure once you're able to make money on certain meme coin out there, because you want to start taking less risks and you want to start hunting for 2 to 5x's, but with size, which is exactly something that this guy is doing, and I do think that this coin as a pick is quite nice. Hey everyone, this is essentially from the dev of the Swarm AI. The dev wallet 9.75% unlocks in roughly 2 weeks. As always, we are making this public and fully transparent. The only reason I'm sharing this is because I just wanted to show that the dev is quite transparent with the things that he's sharing on the marketplace. That's why, and this I think is a very, very nice trade for someone essentially running this project. And between these AI agents, the two things that people essentially focus on, and first the application of the AI agent and real utility and real value add. The second thing is dev. How transparent is dev, how hard he's working, how much updates are there. These are essentially the main two things for the investors to be confident to put money in and to sit in the funds, within the funds as well. I'm probably not that energetic today, guys, and I also missed the video yesterday. Apologies for that. I got a food poisoning and I'm still quite sick at this stage, but I definitely feel clean. I would recommend for anyone to get a food poisoning. Next on the list is Lumino. And interesting thing with this one is that essentially it is the connection between Based AI and Virtuals protocol. And we do not have something like this essentially present at this stage. It's interesting that also similar coin on Solana went up to $35 million in market cap. And we also can see that this thing is kind of started to print this parabola right here. And this pattern is often present in crypto. Like most of the assets, they're usually following this pattern out there. We can clearly see that this thing is essentially surging higher and it wants to go higher. So I'm quite bullish on this one. I don't think that there is essentially something similar on the marketplace at this stage. Here is a thread to explain to you in these simple terms. Most of the AI agents, they essentially work like they don't evolve based on certain inputs since the time they were created, right? People need to teach them one more time and probably update within new versions if they want to add some new information or some new replies and responses out there. And this thing essentially combines the technology from Based AI, from creatures of Based AI, and it evolves itself based on the inputs that it's essentially getting over time. The Get Based AI virtual play is Lumino. A lot of AI startups are going to virtuals to show off the tech in a digestible way. Yet the Lumino dev is a crypto OG with a vision like no other AI agent project. By the way, I think first time I shared it was somewhere around 2.5 million, somewhere around here, 29th of December. So we kind of did the 2x since then. And yeah, this dip was definitely for buying. I'm actually expecting from this thing to continue surging up higher. As the AI learns and grows, the value should follow as well. We are running a Based AI creature as our intelligence layer. Creature generates thoughts, sends them to our custom API. API forwards them to our Virtuals Python server and to our website. Python server forwards them to our Virtuals agent. That's the setup. To be honest, from the dev point of view, this setup is very, very simple, right? They're just connecting several things out there. So it's kind of like a test whether or not something interesting can be coming out of that. And I do believe that people are essentially buying it based on the experiment. However, we also have real use cases right here. DeFi, creatures evolve real-time strategies for liquidity, staking, or risk management, executed seamlessly by Virtuals. A very, very nice thing, and definitely a very, very actionable, and definitely something that adds a bunch of value in the future, right? Because this is something people are definitely hunting for in the current AI agent setup. Like the number one thing why people are essentially buying AI agents, first thing is whether or not they have similar structure to like pump.funds or something where you can launch your agents with them. And second thing is whether or not they can essentially help to manage money, DeFi, buy and sell, and things like that. Governance, Lumino evolves decentralized systems based on community feedback and emergent insights. Unpredictable potential, creatures generate ideas no one programmed. What comes next is limitless. These two are weaker. If obviously this one will be able to be achieved, this would be huge. And yeah, the same chart one more time looks nice. It's definitely one of these projects that within AI agents, like it's up how much? 3.3x from the bottom. It's quite nice, but still definitely should have some room to grow moving further. And it's also low cap. Next thing is Soulgraph. And something you can see here is that it actually is outlining the parabola pattern quite nicely. If you would ask me where Lumino is in comparison, I would say it's somewhere right here at this stage, right? But this thing is playing out in crypto because the industry is quite emotional, right? If Arc, Eliza, Cerebro are the L1s of AI agents, then Soulgraph is layer 0, the shared infrastructure they all need. Why? Also, on that note, can we create a personality of a guy who caught one play and made it his entire personality? Thanks. This is Geek. I'm sure that a bunch of meme coin traders know who she is and the plays that she's essentially making. Very famous person out there, and usually she's buying quite good stuff. How long until I can hook up my entire digital footprint to an agent that can give me curated life advice because my therapist is a fucking bitch and I can't type all of this into GPT? Done. So essentially this Soulgraph thing is like your personal doctor that you can essentially talk to around certain things, right, and ask some questions. So essentially Soulgraph provides tools and infrastructure for the developers to build personality, memories, and real-time comms for agents. So you can come in with your set of data, right, and build a personal agent based on the parameters that you would like to give it to. So for example, like your personal doctor or something, and other things are also present for this thing moving further. I would say it's definitely higher based on the share at this stage, and probably should be giving a smaller returns moving further. But can it show $100 million in the future? I think it can. I think it definitely can. We also have seen a very nice accumulation around these levels, which is very healthy for any type of chart out there. It also has GitHub. GitHub is not that bullish. We only have 7 followers at this stage and 32 stars, which is not that much. If we compare it with A16Z, the situation is definitely quite different out there. And this actually might show us that not a lot of devs are using this one, which is quite interesting if you would ask me. Last but not least is DXAI. This one actually did not believe in the first place, and I actually wanted to share it with you on the same day as I was sharing Lumino. And if I would do that, I was essentially sharing it at $1 million in market cap. I didn't do that because I did not believe in the value this thing can essentially give, but the market is essentially liking this thing, and since that time we did a 4x, and right now we're in a very nice retracement. We're also printing this similar thing out here. It's absolutely crazy. The chart is absolutely crazy in comparison of how similar it looks to Lumino out there. AI powered precision for every diagnosis, AI agents with actual utility. So here is essentially a healthcare diagnosis in the form of AI agent. So you can talk. So it has a bunch of different AI agents that you can actually access. And yesterday, for example, I got food poisoning. I would love to ask something to this doctor, but it says agent type premium, and it asks me to connect my wallet, which I'm not going to do currently, just for the sake of this video not being too long. But it's quite interesting because being in software development space after COVID, we actually started to develop a bunch of telemedicine platforms where people were able to talk to doctors online, right? And obviously from the quality point of view, nothing will replace a real doctor out there. But this type of thing is quite nice because, for example, yesterday I got food poisoning. I was definitely able to ask like, what should I do? What should I eat? And things like that. So from that point of view, it's actually quite useful. It's really a nice real world application. It also has a bunch of docs, AI Swarm. DXAI introduced a visionary approach to healthcare through a swarm of specialized AI doctors, each designed to address specific medical domains with precision, scalability, and efficiency. You can also see neurologist AI, ophthalmologist AI, radiologist AI, dermatologist AI. So if someone has any issues with skin, you can always ask something right here as well. DXAI, the market is wrong. Devs are AI chats and are working with leading research organizations in the medical field. Next innovation in the pipeline of DXAI, Diagnostic as a Service, DAAS, hyper upscaling the access to medical care. Agents pending. Pretty nice. The only issue I have, the only question I have is that how retail will essentially be able to use something like this if the payment that will be available is only in crypto, but it's essentially a smaller issue to have, and it's quite easy to fix. Just a very, very interesting application at this stage. The XAI is the most undervalued and virtual ecosystem. No one is doing what they are doing on the AI agent healthcare front. Yeah, I do love specialization because it's a general rule of business. Once you are in the overcrowded niche, what you want to do is you want to focus, you want to specialize, because this way you will be able to capitalize. And maybe once you focus, you will essentially be able to broaden up, moving further. And this is exactly something that these guys are doing. They're specializing their agent on healthcare part. And like, it's also a reason that, like, from a development point of view, this thing, I don't think it takes too much to develop. Obviously, depending on data and depending on how well these agents essentially operate. Still hyper bullish on the XAI. Healthy 0.5 fee per trace with buy support. Wake me up 50 million and then 100 million. Some images from their dermatologist agent below. It's early, but this is direly needed in healthcare. Read more. I would definitely interested to check out. Image received. You have 0 images remaining this hour. Disease diagnosed in the skin and dermatologist image. Basal cell carcinoma. Okay. Nice. So you're sending the image of something that you have with your skin. Sorry for showing this image if you're eating at this stage. And it's essentially sharing some data. Probably, like always, it just directs you to talk to a real doctor and things like that. But it's nice because oftentimes you want to ask some things, you're not feeling that bad. And essentially, the cases when you really want to go to the doctor, they are really the limit ones when you feel sick for many, many days. So for example, me personally, I had a food poisoning yesterday and I set up a meeting with therapist today, but I missed it. The reason I missed it is because I feel better currently. It's obviously not the food poisoning I'm facing in my life today. And I kind of feel like I would be able to just get out of it myself at this stage, right? Very nice. I'm actually probably going to get some more of the XAI myself. This is it, guys. Thank you very much for watching this one. Wish you a very nice weekend ahead. Stay healthy and rich, and see you tomorrow.